Hi guys, welcome to the Savvy Money Show. Me, your host Sean, and today we're having the second part of our earnings show. Now, it kicks off this week with PepsiCo, and what people don't seem to realise that when you factor in perfect growth and perfect situation, as a lot of people have, and I did a video on that previously, you might want to check it out, and factoring in perfect situation, if you're going to hit your earnings, it's not going to affect stocks so much because the stocks are at all-time highs. Now, the other thing is, if you don't hit your earnings, or your earnings are flat, then what's going to happen is stock's going to go down. I'm sure you remember last earnings day, a certain company, it improved its profit by more than expected, but it didn't hit its earnings, and it plummeted on that. The last earnings were for the first half of the year. For some companies it was January to March, so it didn't even factor in the worst of the COVID-19 or Rona for our friends across the pond, and it's only the ones that reported late that included some of April. This one is going to be the telling one, and we're going to discuss it now. No one's going to expect the banks or the airlines or even the cruise lines to do well. I've already discussed Disney in my last video. Now, either investors are going to be happy with it not doing well, or they're going to respond badly because it's done worse than expected. Now, we're going to move on to a few other companies, and if you haven't subscribed, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, become part of the Savvy Money Show family. You get to ask me to check out any stock you want, and we are a tight community. We give each other updates on stocks and tips. It's well worth being in. I don't charge a Discord fee or ask for Patreon from you. All I ask is that you hit that lovely like button. Helps with the YouTube algorithm and getting the video out to more people. If you're looking for a free trading platform which to trade your stocks and shares, don't forget to check out the links in the description below. Now, all that's over with, we get on with the show. Now, if you look at the likes of Tesla, if Tesla has a good earnings report, I think it could do well. It could carry on. Now, I've said before how I think there will be a pullback, and I think there will be at some point. If they have exceed their earnings, I think they'll do well. If they don't, I think there'll be a pullback then. But you've got to remember, Vanguard are planning to pick up 13 billion shares in the company in preparation for it going on to the S&P. They don't want to be in a big rush. Something others don't seem to realise is also to do with the rise is all the people who were doing the shorting, all these naked puts, they're buying up to cover their naked puts, worried that it is going to just go up and up. Now, we know Wells Fargo aren't doing as well, and we know a load of the banks aren't doing as well. But what happens if Facebook suddenly turns around and says they haven't done well? What happens if Apple turns around and says they haven't done well? I've spoken about some companies who are reporting this week, but you have to consider this. It's the ones who will do well this week are the ones who people don't expect to do well. The Walgreens Boots Alliance, people don't expect it to do well, but if it does well, it will shoot up. It's undervalued, but in my opinion. eBay, I think it will do well with the earnings, but the thing is, do people expect it to do well? That's the thing. You've got to ask yourself. Yeah. CrowdStrike, I think CrowdStrike can add another $100 to its share price, personally, in the next year. Continental, well, what people don't seem to realise about Continental, especially with this EV resurgence, is that Continental own a patent to a road that generates electricity while you drive on it. So each time a truck or a car goes up and down on it, generates electricity, and that electricity can be sold back to the grid, or it could be used as by that city to charge up the charging points. I know there was one city that has contracted them, and they use it that way. They use all the electricity generated for the charging points. Now, I'm just wondering if, because a few people reckon there'd be a crash this week, unless you're going to get Tesla, Apple, Facebook and Amazon all go down. Now, with Amazon, we haven't spoke about. Long term, I think Amazon is a good share to have, but when you look short term, they've already said last earnings call that they're using the money to prepare for the future. Okay, that's fine. What if they turn around again and say they can't give any money back to investors because they're doing the same thing? This is one I meant to speak about but didn't. Micro Focus. Now, and let me bring it up. If this has a good earnings, it can really go far. Where is it? Oh, I've got so many here. Now, I'm not sure I've got it here. No, anyway, let me bring it up. Now, Micro Focus was a stock which has done very well in the past. I know because I sold it at a profit, and in the past year alone it's been at 21, but it's been on a downward spiral before COVID-19. But if we look at the 5 year, it was over $30. Now, it is one which pays dividend. Now that's been cut, obviously, but it's in the tech sector, and getting ranked, and people will just pass it over. Now, you look at the financials. Net income 1.5 billion. Balance sheet. Now, 14.3 billion. Liabilities 8 billion. Now, for a company that's a penny stock that has 661 million in cash, I think this is one that requires further looking at. And I'm surprised that people haven't. Now, the 26% dividend yield is only because it's at such a low price, and next April don't expect that to be there. It's only because last April, you know, they had to give it out, and it was part of a final thing. They've cut that as far as I know. Anyway, don't forget to comment in the box below. Do you agree that if earnings impress, that a lot of the big names shares won't go up too much, but if they fail to impress, they will drop? Or am I barking up the wrong tree? I mean, I do make mistakes. I'm just some idiot on the internet. I'll be interested to see your comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.